So let's start. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. ဒုတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි තතියම්පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. පානාති පාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමාදට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි ඉතිපිසෝ භගවාරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විජ්ජාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරථි සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති ස්වාක්ඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සන්දිට්ඨිකෝ අකාලිකෝ ඒහි පස්සිකෝ ඕපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තං වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤූහිති සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ඥායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරිස පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ පාහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛිතං Lokasati. Homage to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dhamma. I take refuge in the Sangha. For the second time, I take refuge in the Buddha. For the second time, I take refuge in the Dhamma. For the second time, I take refuge in the Sangha. For the third time, I take refuge in the Buddha. For the third time, I take refuge in the Dhamma. For the third time, I take refuge in the Sangha. I undertake the precept to abstain from harming living beings. I undertake the precept to abstain from taking what is not given. I undertake the precept to abstain from sexual misconduct. I undertake the precept to abstain from false speech. I undertake the precept to abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs that lead to heedlessness. Thus indeed is the Blessed One accomplished, fully enlightened, endowed with wisdom and virtuous conduct, sublime, pure in body, speech, and mind, knower of the worlds, unsurpassed charioteer of untamed men, teacher of gods and men, enlightened, blessed. The Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One, expressible in the here and now, timeless, encouraging investigation, leading upward toward full liberation, to be realized individually by the wise. Of practicing the right way are the disciples of the Buddha. Of practicing the straight way are the disciples of the Buddha. Of practicing the true way to Nibbana are the disciples of the Buddha. Of practicing the proper way are the disciples of the Buddha. That is, the four pairs and 8 kinds of noble beings, the disciples of the Buddha, worthy of receiving 4 requisites, worthy to receive hospitality from all quarters, worthy of offerings given out of faith, worthy of reverential salutation, unsurpassed field of merit for the world. So now please join me for the meditation. You may close your eyes and make yourself comfortable here and now. Your body is in an erect position, your shoulders relaxed. Your spine is aligned perfectly well with your neck and the back of your head. Your jaws are relaxed. Your sitting bones and your knees are relaxed. Do a quick scanning of the rest of your body to make sure you feel less agitated, less troubled within your own body. You feel the connection with the earth, the ground. The earth is giving this space, gently holding you, letting you be. So our bodies are perfectly in harmony with the earth. No volcano effects, just the awareness of things arising and passing away. Pay attention to each of the six sense doors. The faculty of eye is inactive. The faculty of ear are active but less functional. Attention to the sounds is there, but we don't investigate them. So the sense of hearing will disappear eventually. The faculty of smelling, the nose, it may not be active as of now. So is the tongue as a faculty. Since you have just adjusted your body in a great posture, the sixth faculty, which is your mind, is the only faculty that needs to be tamed a little bit. For that, unanimously, let us choose breath as the object of meditation. That is your workplace, kammatthana. Attention is focused on different shapes of the breath, noticing it is presence, its presence here and now. As you know that the breath is happening in the moment, not in the past, not in the future. The past cannot be edited, it is dead. The future is yet to come. So it is wise to pay attention to whatever that arises here and now, with special focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in, please. And you can now release. How do you feel? If you feel relaxed, continue this way, breathing in and breathing out. Making space for calmness within the body. Mindful, you are breathing in. Mindful, you are breathing out. You sustain your awareness with your breath. How is it going for you? You can do it. Keep on investigating just this beautiful breath. Your attitude toward the breath is vital in succeeding with this meditation. Have a joyful attitude. Now you may be sensitive enough to notice the difference between long breath and short breath. In both ways, inhaling and exhaling. wanting to take actions and react to things is overtaken by calmness, patience, and any joy that may arise as a result of your awareness. Every time you feel distracted, bring your awareness back to breathing. Mind does not need any external fixations. All you have is this breath that is external and internal. Mind's involvement with the breath unifies and stays as the only focus during this meditation. When the mind is stable, let go of any involvement with hindrances. Being dispassionate, anything that may be strongly present. By letting conditions to arise as antidote, using mind medicine. Healing begins with the decision to heal, taking power back to you. You may breathe in, experiencing the whole body. If there is any tranquility arising, make space for it while being focused on your breath. Let go of any tightness, any tension, relaxing the whole mind and body. We can end the meditation here. I'm switching to different chanting of loving kindness for now. The person who is working skillfully on his well-being should act thus to reach that sublime state. One should be able, upright, perfectly upright, obedient, gentle, and humble, content, easy to support, with few duties, living lightly, controlled in senses, prudent, not impudent, unattached to families. One should refrain from any small action which the wise might censure. One should wish May all beings be well and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are strong or weak, without exception, long, huge, or middle sized, short, tiny, or huge, whether visible or invisible, whether they are living far or near, born or yet to be born. May all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another. Let no one hate another anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm on another. As who, a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so, toward all beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness. Above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or as long as one is awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called the noblest way to dwell in this world. Not falling into wrong views, being virtuous, and having insight, sensual desires purged, he will surely not be conceived again in a womb. Sadhu, sadhu. So, today, my plan is to finish at 8:30 because we are doing a prayer service for Eranda's relative who is in the ICU. Please join me in that prayer. Lalanta Baduge is not doing well, and they are here to do the prayer ceremony. And I wanted to talk to you about Buddhism and spirituality in the short time we have. In my school days, I have friends talking about I am spiritual, not religious. They don't identify themselves with any theistic religion. So Buddhism is presented to the world as a way of living, way of being, cultivating spirituality. In doing that, which aspects do we need to focus on? And did the Buddha really focus on these aspects? I'm asking these questions because they did a study at Harvard recently that said if you are continuously talking without engaging the audience, they are not actually listening. They may not be interested in it. So when they said, when you are talking to someone, there has been this boss in an office who would go from one chair to another daily as part of his schedule and spend time talking to everybody about his family, about his work situation, and everything. But since he did not ask questions from his listener, they felt uninterested. And so it is important that when you ask even a small question like "How are you?" and somebody answers, and you pay attention to that, you begin building your story based on that and then wait for them to talk. So in giving Dhamma talks, this doesn't work that way. So this time should be a time that you pay attention as well as I pay attention to you. And asking as well as you ask questions, so I pay attention to those and respond. And then it becomes an interesting conversation for everybody. So in Buddhism, the Buddha talked about physical well-being, mental well-being, and also social well-being and spiritual well-being. So final spiritual well-being comes from the freedom from bondage. And this freedom is called Nibbana, not having any bondage. And answer to, to what is really achieved by Buddhists come from the question that what problems did they actually have? It was a question about why we are continuously being born again and again, and why do we suffer, and what is the root cause behind this? Owing to these questions, the Buddha found the answers that craving manifests suffering in us. The suffering is about birth, death, getting sick, not getting what you wanted, despair, and these conditionings, grief, lamentation, general suffering that you feel hungry and you will have to eat. So, as a human being, you can relate to these. Also, if you happen to be in a heavenly world, they have a long lifespan and they also have the problem of ending that life at some point. And as their life fades away from the heavenly realm, they come back to some other form of existence. And it may be that you fall back to human world, or you may fall back to Peta world, hungry ghost realm. Because you are not in any control of this, spirituality in Buddhism teaches that there is more to this matrix, and you can make sure that you understand it on your own cultivation of spirituality, understanding it on your own ability and skills. The Buddha said, I am no savior. I'm not able to save everybody from falling into um, any of these realms. Therefore, he gave us the responsibility. We all have the individual responsibility as beings who have a spiritual journey. As they say, we are all um, spiritual beings having a human experience. And this is very true. And you will be able to understand what this spirit really means. Do we actually have any spirit? And you find out the root causes of the conditioning of an spirit, of the idea of spirit. That it is conditioned, it is built on past conditioning, and there is the dependent co-origination taught by the Buddha, and finally getting uninvolved with the idea of personification with anything, not taking anything personally, and seeing this conditioning. When you see the conditioning, as you did in the meditation, your reaction is less and less for things that you would otherwise react strongly in life. Your involvement with things that are upsetting will be less and less. Things happen, accidents happen. Like yesterday, I happened to spill tea in my keyboard, laptop keyboard. It's just been very new laptop, very expensive one offered to me by a very generous family about it. And when that happened, I had to make sure that I was practicing what I am teaching to people. That is about not being shaken by losses, 8 worldly conditions. And someone is working on bringing it back to life. I pray that it works. People lose other things. Some people live a beautiful life for a short time and they say goodbye, and we only have memories of them. When you compare your problems with those, you only have a minor problem. So, since we are human beings, we generally have small and big problems to attend in life. So remember what the Buddha told to King Kosala. He said, Arogya Parama Labha. You can have many gains, but if you don't have good health, if you don't have physical well-being, you are a loser. Santutti Paramandhanam. You can have tons of wealth again. If you aren't happy mentally, then you are a loser. Your spirit is low. And you can have trust in many, you can have many relatives, but if you don't trust yourself to trust others, then you don't have good friends. So please make sure that you have social well-being as well. And last, Nibbana is the highest happiness. You will have temporary happinesses, but Nibbana is the highest. Nibbana is the highest because it gives you freedom from any suffering you may experience in the future or now or anywhere. So I began with physical well-being, arogya paramalabha, and your mental well-being, that is santutti paramandhanam, visasa paramanyati, the people that you trust and the trust you have toward yourself about your own strengths and weaknesses. This is the best of kin, and Nibbanam Paraman Sukham. Highest happiness is Nibbana. And this was taught to a king who was accomplished, had everything, but why did the Buddha teach something like that? So think about these things, and we will know that our life is accomplished as we are not religious but spiritual. I trust that this was helpful. Any questions before I finish? All right, I will end here. May all beings be well and happy, rejoice in our good karma, and find freedom from suffering. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhansai.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.